I should have said no the moment she whispered it. But the truth is, I didn't. It started on a night that already felt wrong. The kind of night where silence presses too hard against your ears, where every shadow looks like it's hiding something. I had just come back from work, late shift, dead tired, brain foggy from fluorescent lights and rude customers. The apartment was unusually quiet. No TV, no music, not even the hum of my roommate Armin's usual gaming setup. Just stillness. I remember dropping my keys on the counter and calling out, "Armin." No response. I checked his room. Empty. Kitchen. Empty. Bathroom. Empty. It felt off, but I shrugged it off at first. Maybe he'd gone out. Maybe I just hadn't heard him leave. Then I saw the note. A single folded paper on the dining table, my name written in messy handwriting. Bro, had to leave suddenly. Family emergency. Won't be back for a few days. Mom might stop by to check the place. Don't freak out lol. I frowned. Armin's mom, I'd only met her twice. She seemed nice, quiet, the kind of woman who smiled politely but didn't say much. Always watching more than speaking. Still, something about the note unsettled me. Maybe it was the rushed handwriting. Maybe it was the way the apartment felt colder than usual. I brushed it off. I wish I hadn't. The knock came at exactly 11:43 p.m. I remember the time because I checked my phone twice before opening the door. Who shows up that late? When I opened it, she was standing there. Armin's mom, wrapped in a dark shawl, her hair slightly messy like she'd been in a rush. Her eyes looked tired, but sharp. Too sharp. "Oh," I said, surprised. "Auntie, you're here." She smiled faintly. "May I come in?" Something in her tone wasn't a question. It was heavy, like the air itself was asking permission. "Yeah, of course." She stepped inside slowly, her eyes scanning the apartment. Not casually, intentionally, like she was checking if something, or someone, was missing. "Armin told me you might come," I said, trying to keep things normal. She nodded, but didn't respond. Instead, she walked toward his room, opened the door, and stood there silently for a few seconds. I watched from behind. "Is everything okay?" I asked. She turned her head slightly, just enough for me to see her expression. "No," she said softly. "It isn't." That should have been my cue to ask questions. Instead, I felt something else. Unease. We sat in the living room. I made tea, more out of habit than hospitality. She held the cup but didn't drink. "He didn't tell you what happened, did he?" she asked. I shook my head. She looked down at the tea, her fingers tightening slightly around the cup. "There are things about this apartment," she began, her voice low, "that Armin never told you." I forced a small laugh. "Auntie, if this is about rent or something, I swear It's not about money." Her voice cut through mine, calm but firm. "It's about nights like this." My chest tightened. "What do you mean?" She looked at me directly now. No hesitation, no softness. "Have you ever felt like you weren't alone here?" I opened my mouth to respond, but stopped. Because yes, I had. Little things. Sounds in the kitchen when no one was there. The bathroom light flickering even after I changed the bulb. The feeling, sometimes, late at night, that someone was standing just outside my door. I had ignored all of it. Told myself it was nothing. I hesitated. "Maybe, sometimes." She nodded, like she expected that answer. "Armin couldn't handle it anymore," she said. "That's why he left." A chill ran down my spine. "Handle what?" She leaned back slightly, her eyes drifting toward the hallway. "Something in this house doesn't like people being alone." Silence filled the room, heavy, suffocating. "That's not funny," I said, trying to keep my voice steady. "I'm not joking." Her voice softened, but it didn't comfort me. "It starts small. Sounds. Shadows. Then it gets closer. More personal." My hands felt cold. "Why didn't he tell me?" "He thought he could protect you," she replied. "But he underestimated it." I stood up abruptly. "Okay, look, I don't know what's going on, but this is getting weird. I think I'll just." "Where will you go?" Her question stopped me mid-step. "It's almost midnight, and if it's already noticed you." I turned slowly. "What does that mean?" She stood up now, walking closer. "It means," she said quietly, "you shouldn't stay here tonight." Relief washed over me. "Okay, I'll go to a hotel or you can come with me." I blinked. "With you?" She nodded. "I have a spare room." That should have felt safe. Normal. But something about the way she said it wasn't. Her house was about 20 minutes away. The drive was silent. Too silent. She didn't turn on the radio. Didn't make small talk, just drove, her eyes fixed on the road, her grip on the steering wheel tight. I kept glancing at her, trying to read her expression. Was she scared, calm? I couldn't tell. When we arrived, the house looked ordinary. Small, neat, dimly lit. Safe. Inside, it was warm. The kind of warmth that wraps around you, makes you feel protected. You can stay here, she said, leading me to a guest room. It was simple. Clean bed, soft lighting, no weird vibes. I exhaled slowly. Thank you, Auntie. Really. She smiled faintly. You're safe here. Safe. That word echoed in my mind as I sat on the bed. For the first time that night, I believed it. I must have fallen asleep quickly. But I woke up just as suddenly. 3:17 a.m. My heart was racing. I didn't know why. Then I heard it, a faint creak outside the door. I held my breath. Another creak. Slow, deliberate, like someone shifting their weight. I sat up, staring at the door. Hello, I called out softly. No response. The handle moved slightly. Just a tiny twitch. My chest tightened. Auntie, I said louder. The handle stopped. Silence. Then, a whisper. Soft, close, right outside the door. You don't need to sleep alone. My blood ran cold. That wasn't comforting. It wasn't kind. It was something else. Something wrong. I didn't move, didn't breathe. The whisper came again, softer this time, closer. You don't need to be alone. I forced myself to stand up, my legs trembling. Auntie, I called again, louder. Footsteps, retreating, slowly fading. I rushed to the door and flung it open. The hallway was empty, but at the far end, I saw her. Armin's mom, standing still, watching me, her expression unreadable. Did you say something? I asked, my voice shaking. She tilted her head slightly. No. My stomach dropped. I heard someone. She stepped closer. It's just your mind, she said gently. No, it wasn't. You're safe here, she repeated. The same words, but now, they felt different. Heavier, like a promise, or a warning. I didn't sleep after that. Morning came slowly, too slowly. At breakfast, she acted normal. Calm, kind, like nothing had happened. Did you sleep well? She asked. I hesitated. Not really. She nodded, almost knowingly. It takes time to adjust. Adjust? To what? She looked at me, her gaze steady. To not being alone. A chill ran through me again. I think I should go back, I said quickly. Check the apartment. Her expression changed, just slightly. You don't have to, she said. You can stay here. I appreciate it, but you don't understand, she interrupted softly. It followed you. My breath caught. What? Her voice dropped to a whisper. It doesn't like being left behind. My mind raced. That's not possible. She stepped closer. Then, why did you hear it here? I had no answer. Because deep down, I knew she was right. That night changed everything. I didn't go back to the apartment. I didn't question her anymore. Because something had crossed a line. Something I couldn't explain. Days turned into weeks. I stayed. At first, it felt like survival. Then, it started to feel like something else. Comfort, but not the kind you choose. The kind that chooses you. She was always there, watching, caring, too much, and sometimes, late at night, I'd hear it again. That whisper, not outside the door anymore. Closer, inside the room. You're not alone. And I realized something that terrified me more than anything else. It wasn't following me anymore. It was already here. Maybe it always had been. Maybe she didn't bring me here to protect me. Maybe she brought me here because I was never meant to leave. I don't know how this ends. I don't know if there's a way out. But if you're reading this, if you ever feel like you're not alone when you should be, don't ignore it, don't brush it off, because some things don't just haunt places. They find people, and once they do, they don't let go. And sometimes, the scariest part isn't the thing in the dark. It's the person who tells you, you're safe.